Welcome to our regular iSpring webinar series. And while we are waiting for more participants to join, let's get to know each other. I'm curious to know where everyone is located. So uh, you can write in the chat what state, country, or city you are joining us from and what your current professional role is. So great, I see your first answers. Okay. I see Michigan, Germany, Ohio, Kansas City. Okay, wow. So many countries, so many roles. I see training managers, scientists with us today, L&D coordinator. Okay, great. So let's start then. My name is Kate. I'm a community manager at iSpring and your moderator for today's session. And today we have a special webinar in partnership with Colossyan, which is called Gold Standard Employee Onboarding, how to integrate AI videos into your training. And over the next hour, we are going to explore how platforms like Colossyan and iSpring can be leveraged to deliver your onboarding content seamlessly. And now, let me introduce you to our passionate account manager at iSpring and one of our presenters for the day, Sarvar Umar. Sarvar is an learning expert who always delves deep into a client's needs to find the best possible solution. So, hi, Sarvar, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. Hi, how are you, Kate?
Yeah, I'm feeling great and I'm very excited about today's webinar. So, let's move on to our next speaker, who is learning ambassador at Colossian, Tom McDowell. I think a lot of you guys already know Tom because Tom has been working in and around workplace learning and performance support more than a decade. So he's definitely have some insights to share with us today. Please welcome Tom. Tom, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. So I can't wait to get started. But before we start, let's quickly go over some housekeeping details. And here is our today's agenda. We will start with Tom, who will tell you about gold standards of onboarding, and we'll show you the AI video platform in action. And then we will continue with Sarver, who will show you how to integrate this AI video into an online course and how to set up onboarding training with an LMS. And that's all I've got for housekeeping. And it's time for Tom to take the stage.
Fantastic, thank you so much. So onboarding, everyone's excited, right? Everyone loves designing onboarding programs. Look, the reason I subtitled this section "Getting It Done" and then "well" in brackets is because I'm very aware of the fact that onboarding programs are not the sexiest thing L&D ever gets involved with. Right? We get to do some really exciting stuff, and onboarding doesn't usually make that list. But it is probably one of the highest impact areas alongside compliance training that we get to be involved in our organizations. It's one of the few universal experiences of working for a company, joining, going through that onboarding period. So getting it done, yes, so we can do other more exciting things, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't make sure we're getting it done well. And that's really what this section focuses on, is based on some very hard won experiences, having created some awful onboarding experiences myself and been through plenty of them and learning from all of that over time, what the gold standard now looks like from my perspective. And I'd love in the chat with each of the gold standards, share what you're thinking about it. How does it apply to you? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? And do you think I've missed anything? Because there's so much going on during onboarding. There's no way I've captured everything. So I'd love to hear what you think. So first things first, let's make sure we're all using the same kind of language for the purposes of this call. This isn't a universal truth. This is just how I'm going to refer to it today. There are broadly 4 stages to an onboarding program. That's going to be pre-boarding, which is everything between accepting the job role and turning up on day 1. The initial orientation, and that's macro and micro orientation. Basically, what does the business do? What does the office do? What does the team do? What do you do? And that then applies to what you do, how you do it, the systems that you use, all those cool things. That's where you start talking about values and how we do things here. Third, you've got your setup of ongoing training. So this is where we as L&D can really make an impact in terms of establishing what training can you as an employee expect and get used to and look forward to here. Yes, your annual compliance. Yes, maybe something around well-being, but it gives us a real opportunity to establish ourselves as a trusted partner in the organization for these people joining. And then finally, integration into the team and function. And it's easy to think, well, this isn't anything to do with L&D. That's the line manager's job. That's HR's job. But actually, facilitating team building and collaboration is essential for the long-term success of any L&D function. So handing it off to someone else is madness when it impacts us so heavily in the future. So with that kind of level setting in mind, let's dive in to these 6 gold standards. The first one is road mapping. When you start a new job, we've all been there. What's the predominant feeling when you start a new job? Maybe excitement. Some people worried. But the one thing we all share in common when we start a new job in a new business is uncertainty. We don't know anything. We may not know anyone except for the people who interviewed us, and we might not be working directly for them. So by offering a clear roadmap of what the first 90 days, let's say, in a business is going to look like for someone, you give them stability, you give them certainty, you give them something to rely on and that they can track themselves against. You also establish with the business the value that you are adding in those first 90 days. It's important that, yes, you know this roadmap. It's important that the learner or the onboarder knows this roadmap, but it's important that their line manager, their team, and the wider organization know about it as well. Now, this can take the form of a checklist, obviously, but can also take the form of automated emails, prompts if you use Teams or Slack in your business. It's about finding key milestone moments where you know you need to make contact or you need someone to action something and making sure that there is always a nudge. Those familiar with nudge theory will know it's much more effective to just give people that little bit of a hey, have you thought about this? Have you done this yet? Rather than today you must complete the following tasks every single day for your first 90 days in the business. No one likes that kind of pressure, least of all when they're getting used to a new business. Next up, personalization of the experience. Onboarding, as I said, is one of those big universal things, and a lot of it is the same for everyone, except it's sort of not. The broad process might be the same, but the details are highly personal, especially in a big business. I think back to when I was working in a major UK utilities company, huge business. We had sites all over the south of England, plus sites in India, plus sites in South Africa that were supporting us from overseas. Now, technically, everyone went through the same onboarding where they would start, they would do their compliance training, they would meet their line manager, they would meet their team, and they would set up their workstation on day one. But what that looked like for each of those different locations and people joining different parts of the business was wildly different. There were certain parts of the business where you would turn up and go, "Hi, I'm starting," and they would go, "Okay, let me take you through." Other parts of the business, you would turn up and say, "Hi, I'm starting today," and they would go, "Great, have you got your security clearance already completed? Because you're not coming into the building until I've seen that." That's a very different day one experience, and the same onboarding material is not going to prepare people properly for that. But beyond those big major differences, we know that personalization resonates with us. We like to feel like we're special, like we're the only ones in the world that matter in that moment, right? So what if rather than saying, "Hey, make sure you meet your line manager on day one," we were saying, "Hey, once you come and sign in, you'll meet Sarah, your line manager." Personalization gives me security in now going, I'm not just meeting my line manager, I'm coming in to meet Sarah. If someone asks me, "Oh, who are you waiting for?" I now know. I've been told. It's specific to me. It's my onboarding, not the onboarding. That's really essential for the long-term effectiveness of your onboarding program. Comprehensive training. Now, chances are you're here, you're choosing to be at an optional webinar, no one's forcing you, so you probably do a pretty good job of designing great training in your business. I'm gonna play on that assumption. But do people joining your business know that? How are they supposed to know that? Are they supposed to just be so blown away by the dizzying choice of your LMS that they don't question it? No, people want to see that there's really great materials available to them. So from day one, making sure that they've got access to training, that the curriculum that they're assigned makes sense to them and is aligned to their job role. Yes, that it's personalized, but it's not just tasks. No matter what task you're in charge of completing, soft skills, communication, teamwork, collaboration, these things are going to be essential to your long term success in a business, even if they're not your role. We also need to think about training in the broadest possible senses. And this is around mentoring, buddy systems, drop in sessions, guidance groups, working groups, perhaps coaching if they're at a certain level of their career when they join the business. Having these things in place and kind of guaranteed at set points of the journey is really important for helping people bed in and get into their minds that they are not here to stay stationary. They are here to keep moving forwards and keep growing. Getting the job is step one, not the end of the journey. And by offering a really comprehensive training offering from day one, we ensure that lifelong learning mentality is there in our people. So clear communication seems really, really freaking obvious, right? But how many of us have communication problems in our business? Just day to day. Maybe it's an SME that doesn't respond to your emails. Maybe it's a fragmented L&D department that works in different places in the business. And we've all got ways of working around this. Certain people that we go to, back channels we work through. Someone onboarding into your business has none of those things. They are starting from scratch. And so it is essential to their ability to onboard successfully to make sure that there are clear lines of communication. Who are their key contacts? Where can they find frequently asked questions? How are they going to be served up? Where do those questions come from? They should be coming from people who recently onboarded in our business. We should be going to them at the end of their onboarding process. Hey, what did we miss? What did you need to know but no one told you? And that goes into our FAQ. We should also make sure that whether it's with someone from L&D, whether it's their line manager, whether it's their senior leader in their function, whatever it might be, they have regular one-to-ones booked in throughout that onboarding process. Again, from day one. We don't wait until we go, oh, we need to book in a one-to-one. Find some time in my diary. Great, one more job for someone who's trying to learn a new business. No, they should arrive, look in their calendar and go, oh, next week I've got a one-to-one already booked in for me in my calendar when I log in. A seamless flow into offering that support avoids any potential for we're busy, there's no time, don't worry about that, it's unimportant. You've probably all heard that in a business at some point from a line manager, right? Don't worry about the one-to-one, I know we're busy, we'll catch up later. How often do we catch up later? Really important that those are there from day one. So engagement and interaction. Do not make your onboarding process a 6-mile checklist that you give them on day one and say, hey, see you in 3 months. That doesn't work. That's a horrible feeling. That's like going back in time when you arrive and you go, great, for the next 12 weeks, you're going to sit in this classroom and learn like you're back at school. Except now you're not going to have the support of the classroom. You just got a checklist. Figure it out. It will be great. And we often hear this couched in terms of, well, we hire them because they can hit the ground running. That has unfortunately become a shorthand for we are going to offer you no support and you're going to leave very shortly after you finish your onboarding program if you do. This is a real cause of churn, massive, massive cause of early churn when you hire people. So offer them the support of something that actually makes sense to them. Create opportunities for them to participate in cross-team, cross-departmental and cross-functional activities so that they don't just know their line manager and the 3 people that sit next to them in the office. Or if they work from home, maybe no one. Give them those opportunities to make connections beyond their job role, so that they feel part of the wider organization. You may also find this is where your best new ideas come from. Weird conversations with people working in other functions can spark things that you would otherwise never see happening in your business. Finally, support and resources. If I'm starting in your business, I should be able to find out how to do my job very, very easily. My job may be incredibly complex. It may be a very difficult job to do, but finding a how-to guide on how to log into the system should not be part of how difficult my job is. Finding a how-to guide on how to get something signed off should not be difficult. That information should all be readily made available to me and probably not tied up in, for instance, e-learning courses. This is where knowledge management and offering resources over courses really has power during onboarding. One, it gives me the security blanket of saying, hey, I don't have to remember everything right now. I know I can quickly get to the resource that I need. But even in the long term, no one knows everything about the business in which they operate. Not one person, not the CEO, not the COO, not you. We often like to think we do. I know I'm one of those people. I like to think I know everything. The reality is I don't. I have to accept that. So a knowledge base, access to a single source of truth is incredibly important. Embed that during onboarding, and you've got an employee who will always have access to the most up-to-date and correct information through their career with you. Wait until later, they will establish bad habits. They'll go, oh, well, so-and-so told me that's the process. They've been here for ages. I'll just do what they've said, even if that process has recently changed. So just a bit of an overriding final point before we look at a bit of how we can use specifically AI video to deliver some of this. In an age dominated by digital progress, emphasizing human connection is a radical yet essential act. Technology ultimately is here to facilitate during onboarding the connection of a new person into an existing organization. It's a human process at its heart. It's essential that we remember that, and that we remember with everything we do in L&D, every single thing we do, we are here to deliver essential change effectively and efficiently, no matter how radical the solution may be. That doesn't mean we have to use the most radical solution all the time. Some days, an exciting new AI product might be the solution. Other days, a post-it note might fix it. That's fine. We can be as radical as we want to be so long as we are effectively and efficiently delivering the essential change our business needs to see. And at no time is this more important than during someone's onboarding program. Now, there was an awful lot in those slides. So let me show you something a little bit interesting. How can you use AI video, specifically, obviously, Colossyan, how it within your onboarding program? So we mentioned not just giving people a checklist, and we mentioned pre-boarding. Pre-boarding is an area that is very difficult to get right. Too much, and people feel like you're taking advantage. Free work, I've not started yet, and you're sending me e-learning courses to complete. That's probably an unreasonable ask. However, do nothing, and people wander in on day one going, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. That's a horrible feeling, to arrive in a company and be the person going, I know nothing, help, someone help me. You're effectively infantilizing your audience. You're saying, hey, you're the child, we have all the information, you come to us and ask and we'll help you with things. Pardon me. No one wants to feel like that. So the example I've put together today, if I can find my screen to share it, is in Colossyan a short pre-boarding video, or activity, I should say. Now, some of the other things that we mentioned there were personalization. Personalization of video is really difficult because it's expensive. If I say, hey, I want to put every line manager's name in an introductory video, in a small business with 5 line managers, hey, there's 5 videos. Now we talk about an international corporation with over 700 managers, and we're creating, 700 videos. That sounds like a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort for a little bit of personalization. Well, with something like AI video content, personalization is incredibly simple. So in this example, I've created a really basic script, and all I do is I pop the script in over here on the left-hand side. This is ultimately what the avatar that I've chosen to use will read out. Now, in this case, I've used Nina, one of our avatars here, who just looks nice and professional. But this could be your company's COO. How awesome that! Their time is incredibly valuable, right? If you've ever tried to get a COO or a CEO, can I just record you for 700 videos? It's not going to fly. That's a huge cost to the business, and they're not going to get much done. You create them in avatar, suddenly they can be in 2 places at once. If you ever want to sell something to an exec, tell them you can be in 2 places at once. They love that kind of thing. They've never got enough time, right? But it means people get to know leaders in their business from day one. So what this now allows me to do is take my script, very simple welcome onboarding script, and say, hey, welcome to the business. What can you expect from day one? Well, hey, when you arrive at reception, here's what you're going to need to be doing. I can have a little bit of footage in the background. In this case, I've gone into media and I've used some stock footage, but I could use some AI generated imagery, or I could upload a video of our reception building. If we have like a stylistic choice, I could upload something. Or perhaps I could record something from my screen if that's the most appropriate thing. Maybe less so for this, but more if I was doing systems training. So from there, then I can choose the voice of my avatar to make sure it's in the area that I want, and then start providing some key information. You're going to meet your line manager. Pardon me. On the screen, it might just say line manager, but you'll notice in the script, it specifically says your line manager, Sarah. That little one additional word empowers that person on the day that they arrive to come into reception and say, hi, my name's Tom. I'm starting today. I'm here to meet Sarah. She's my line manager. Not just, do you know who my manager is, please? So I don't wander through this building going, hi, I'm Tom. Are you my manager? Because that's awkward. I think we'd all agree. That little bit of personalization makes me feel special and makes me feel empowered on my first day in the business. Then maybe we can talk a little bit about our values, we can talk a little bit about our compliance training, and we can thank them with a little message to sign off. Really simple, really quick, but recording this and then video editing could take serious amounts of time. This took about 4 minutes to build once I'd written the script. And the script didn't exactly take long, it's less than a minute of video. The efficiency that this offers me means I can now utilize video for things that it would not be cost or time effective to beforehand, whether that's onboarding, whether that's branching scenarios in an authoring tool, whatever it might be. The other thing this means is that when I inevitably send this out to my stakeholders and they go, oh, could we do a slightly different shade of purple? Super easy, not to worry. Or when they inevitably say, oh, actually, rather than we're excited, we're not going to use contractions anymore. Can you go through and change all the voiceovers to not use contractions? Now, if you've got to record those voiceovers, time, money, effort. Not anymore. All I have to do is go, oh, we're not using contractions anymore. Cool, that's let's delete that and just change that to R. Okay, that's it. The voiceover's changed. Done. Nothing more to do. The ability to iterate rapidly in video is a game changer because yes, stakeholders to do that, but user feedback should also be taken into account. So when your users tell you that video is missing key information, don't re-record it from scratch. Just come in here, type in an extra couple of lines that are missing. You're ready to go again. You can constantly iterate and improve by this process. The other thing, and this is where it gets really exciting as I come towards the end of this example, is that I get to the end of the video. Great, it was a video. Video can be a little bit passive sometimes. How do I know someone's paid attention? Well, let's add a question. Let's wrap this off with a little bit of a question. So you can see when you add one in at the minute, it says, hey, if you add questions in, you're going to need to export this as SCORM. Well, the good news is when we do export this as SCORM in a moment, we'll be able to put it into a platform. So let me go to there. I'll skip the instructions for now. But what I want to do effectively is ask them. I did pre-write a question, but I have closed my window because I'm just that organized in terms of my my tab management today. Good job, Tom. So let's say, who are you meeting at reception? And it could be that we're here to meet Sarah. It could be that we're here to meet James. We could add another response and say, I'm here to meet Andrew, let's say. I can, maybe I don't want to use check answer. Perhaps I want to use the classic submit button instead. And then I can offer some feedback, sort of correct. Hey, yes, that's who you're here to meet. Or no, quick reminder, you're here to meet Sarah. She's your line manager. She'll meet you at reception. Suddenly we've added a little bit of interactivity. Now, in this scenario, I put it right at the end, but you could put that partway through. You could ask them, hey, what are you most looking forward to in starting your job? 3, 4 options, whatever it might be. Start getting them thinking about, hey, what were those values that you mentioned in step 2? Do you remember what they were? Do you remember how we show them? just one-off little things, and then all we do, as and when we're ready, we hit generate, and that exports that ready to go for us for reporting. Now, because I don't want to waste loads of our time sat here just rendering a video for you, it's pretty quick, but we've only got an hour on today's webinar. We've got an example already ready to go. So I'm going to pop that on screen now, and then I'm going to hand over so you can see how we bring this piece of rapidly created, rapidly iteratable content into a platform so it can be delivered. Let me just pop the video up.
And welcome to the team. I'm thrilled you're joining us. As part of your onboarding experience, I want to ensure your first day runs smoothly. When you arrive, please head straight to reception with some form of identification to collect your temporary access pass. Our reception team will be expecting you and will help you with anything you need. After that, you'll meet your line manager, Sarah. She's looking forward to getting you set up with your workstation and introducing you to the rest of the team. At our company, we truly believe in owning it and care. We take pride in our work and look out for one another, and you'll see this in action from day one. Before the end of your first day, you'll also need to complete a few compliance modules. These are important to ensure we all stay on the same page and uphold our standards. We're excited to see the great things you'll achieve with us. Once again, welcome aboard, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Awesome. So, oh, sorry, Josie, the audio keeps cutting out. So we can maybe send the video out directly so you can get an experience of it, or indeed you can create one for free on the homepage of the website, which is really good fun, and then see how it sounds. And I agree, the fact that these avatars are now sounding more and more human is a real game changer. We're starting to finally get over that kind of uncanny valley effect and get into some really useful but little bit terrifying at times, realism with some of these voices. But that's very, very exciting. But without further ado, we've now created our piece of content to kick off our pre-boarding. Let me hand over to Sava about where we can then host that.
Thank you so much, Tom. It was fantastic part, and you've gave us really great insights on onboarding. So one of my favorite science fiction writers, Arthur Clarke, once said, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." And I love this quote. So I think the things that AI does nowadays is real magic. So, and that's great that we can use it in onboarding. So hello, everyone. My name is Sarvar. I'm an account manager at iSpring, and my job is to help businesses create interactive learning content and automate their trainings. Just 4 years ago, before the COVID pandemic, we couldn't even imagine that it would be possible to provide onboarding completely online. But now we live in a completely different reality. So we have now Zoom, Teams. Most importantly, we have an e-learning and AI tools that help us onboard new hires remotely and do it in the most engaging way. So Tom has just showed you how you can create an amazing training video using the AI solution from Colossyan. And now I'm going to show you how you can integrate this video into an e-learning course and how you can deliver it to your learners using the LMS platform. So first, for those of you who are not familiar with iSpring, let me give you a quick overview of our company. For over 20 years, we've been designing an e-learning software that helps businesses and organizations from a wide range of sectors and industries automate their trainings. Our products and our technical support have been honored with multiple industry awards, including G2, Capterra, and Forbes. We've been working with 59,000 companies all over the world, with government agencies, educational institutions worldwide, including big names like Microsoft, Boeing, Dell, and others. Now, let's move on to see what solution we provide for e-learning. So our solution basically consists of two main products: the authoring tool for e-learning course creation and the LMS platform for these courses delivery. So our authoring tool is called iSpring Suite, and basically it is an all-in-one authoring toolkit that consists not only of the tool for content creation, but it also comes with the content library, character builder, and iSpring Cloud. So our content library contains more than 90,000 assets and templates for course creation. So you don't have to Google and find some pieces of content to create your courses. You have everything in place. You can just take icons, backgrounds, characters, and objects, or you can create your custom character if you want it to look more customized and more relevant to your corporate design. And you also have iSpring Cloud, where you can collaborate with other authors to share content, to collect feedback, and use it for teamwork. So the best thing about iSpring Suite authoring tool is the fact that this authoring tool is based on PowerPoint. So it allows you just to turn your simple PowerPoint presentations into interactive e-learning courses and upload them to your LMS. You can just take your simple PPT and pick up the slide, add quizzes, interactions, role plays inside of it. If you want, for example, to create dialogue simulation to create soft skills training or sales training, you can create it inside your simple PowerPoint and make it engaging. You can also create background voiceovers, and you don't have to record your own voice. You can use text to speech for this. We have more than 40 languages. And also, we have an AI integration, which allows you to generate text from your prompts. Once your course is ready and you've finished your content creation, you should publish it, right? So what format do you use for publishing? So you use SCORM. SCORM is the main format in e-learning. SCORM stands for Shareable Content Object Reference Model. All you need to know about SCORM is that this is a specific format which allows you to extract data from the learning content so that you can track the results of your learners and see their performance. And here are 4 steps on how you can create SCORM files using iSpring and Colossyan solutions. So first of all, you need to design your PowerPoint presentation in iSpring Suite. After that, you can just easily add Colossyan AI video inside one of your slides. Then you just publish your presentation to SCORM format, and your presentation is ready to be uploaded to LMS and delivered to your learners when you can track their progress and get statistics. And here comes our LMS. So what LMS is? LMS stands for Learning Management System. And Kate, maybe we can run a small poll to see if our audience is familiar with LMS and if guys use learning management systems. And if you use an LMS, just let us know what LMS do you use. And for those who are not familiar with LMS systems, so the LMS is basically a platform where you upload your content, where you add users, where you can divide users into different groups and automate all your training processes, track, manage the progress of users, and give them certificates. So our LMS is called iSpring Learn, and it allows you to create content inside the LMS or upload ready-made content. You can run reports, hold webinars, use the blended learning features, and also track and manage the progress of your learners. iSpring Learn also has free mobile app so that all your employees can just have all their courses using their smartphones or tablets. So now I think it is a good moment for me to start sharing my screen and to show you our solution in practice. Okay, just a moment, please. Okay, so can you see my screen? Here
Yeah,
we are.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Great. So here we are in iSpring Suite in our authoring tool. So just to give you the general idea, iSpring Suite, it is literally an add-in for PowerPoint. So once you install it on your computer, it appears here in your PowerPoint as additional tab. So the main idea of iSpring Suite is that you can just take your existing PPTs and turn them into interactive e-learning courses. So here we have our presentation, which is just a demo course dedicated to time management. And what we can do here, we can just click on any slide and add quizzes, visual interactions. We can create role plays to make dialogue simulations. We can also create video trainings and create screencasts, or we can embed YouTube videos or web objects on our slides. Also, there is our content library with slide templates, characters, backgrounds, objects, and icons for faster course creation. So as you can see here, we have a quiz on this slide and a role play. And now we want to add a video from Colossyan on one of our slides. So we just create a new slide, and we can just directly insert a video on our slide. So here we have the file with the Colossyan AI video, and that's it. Voila, we have the video that is a part of our interactive e-learning course that is ready to be published. So, and how now we can publish this interactive presentation as a SCORM file. All we need to do is just to click on publish button here. And here are multiple options. You can publish your course on your computer just as a SCORM file. So you just click on LMS, choose the format, so SCORM in our case, and it will be published to your computer and will be ready to be uploaded to the LMS. Or if you use our own LMS, you can just publish it directly to iSpring Learn when you synchronize your account. So now let's take a look at our LMS. And here is iSpring Learn. So here we are in iSpring Learn, and we see the platform from admin portal. So we see it from admin perspective. We can always switch to user portal when we click on our profile, and we will definitely do it. But now let's just take a look at the dashboard, which is like a starting page. So the dashboard just shows the general information about how many courses you have here, users, groups, and also some newest content that was uploaded to the platform here. On the left panel, we have different sections. So user section, learning content section, trainings, reports, and settings and others. Now let's go to learning content section to find the presentation that we uploaded to the LMS. So here is our storage. And here we see our presentation that is already in our storage. So just to give you idea on the content management in iSpring Learn, in iSpring Learn, we have 3 levels of content. First is learning module, second level is course, and the third level is learning track. So the first level, learning module, is basically any type of file that you just upload to the LMS. So it could be PowerPoint presentation, a video, PDF, so anything. You just click here and you can upload all files to your storage. The second level is an introduction course that we have here. So it is basically a course that is a compilation of different modules. So since we are considering it for onboarding training, we only having one presentation is definitely not enough for our trainees, right? So we need to combine multiple modules inside one course. So let's just open this course and find our modules. So here we have the single outline with the list of our modules. So here we have Colossyan AI video, the e-learning presentation that we made in iSpring Suite, and also some other modules like quizzes and role plays. But I think having a single course is also not enough for the whole onboarding. So what we can do in this case, we can create learning track. And the learning track is basically a combination of courses. So here we have this introduction course, which is a part of this learning track. So in learning track, you can create a structure and divide your learning into days or into weeks. You can set up a due date and manage everything, the navigation here, and enable the automation on the platform as well. So how we can enroll users to these learning track? We can do it in different ways. So all we need to do is to go to enrollments. And here we see that I'm the only user who is enrolled to this course. I can see my progress here. And if I want to enroll new users, I just click here and I can add users one by one individually, or I can enroll the whole department of employees. So it could be like the parent department, or I can just choose specific department, or maybe even sub-department, so that, for example, I can enroll only users from finance department to this onboarding course. So this way you can separate your learning content and automate its enrollment for specific teams. Another way of automation is to enable automatic enrollment. So you can go to availability section here and add the rules. So for example, if I add the rule, when the learner was added to a group or department XYZ, this learner will be automatically enrolled to this learning track. So you don't have to manually assign all these courses, and it helps you to save a lot of time as an admin. Also, upon the completion, your employees can have certificates, so that the platform will generate certificates that you uploaded in advance, or it could be the pre-made certificate. so they can just uh, uh, receive the certificates automatically or on a regular basis. So from time to time, depending on how you set it up from here. If we go to reports, we can see the reports of this particular learning track. But now I think it is a good moment to switch to user portal to see all these learning items from an employee perspective. And here we are. Here's the user portal. And here are different sections. And my courses section is basically the starting page where your employees will find the list of all learning items that are assigned to them and their progress. So here we have some courses and we have our learning track. So let's open it and go to day number 1 with the introduction course. Here is the list of our modules. So now let's open the Colossyan AI video. So you have two ways on how you can deliver the AI videos from Colossyan to your employees using our LMS. So you can just upload it as a standalone module, or you can just put it inside your presentation as we did previously. So if we open this module, we will see this video as a standalone module. Or we can just go back and open our presentation. So this is really beautiful. You can just take simple PowerPoint and turn it into these courses with the custom design, with the navigation rules, with the AI videos integrated inside your slides. So, and the most important thing is that you don't need to have any specific IT skills to create this professional e-learning. You just need to know how to use PowerPoint. And that's it. So we call iSpring Suite PowerPoint on steroids because it has the capabilities, the power of the PowerPoint itself, and also the extra features that allow you to create these beautiful online courses. So you can combine different modules inside a single presentation, for example, role plays and interactive quizzes, or you can just upload them as separate modules and put them inside a course in the LMS. So what other sections do we have here in the user portal? If we go to my training section, we will discover the calendar where you can schedule live trainings with your employees or maybe Zoom or Teams sessions if you use these tools. So the trainings are synchronized with the time zones of your employees so that you can be sure that there will not be any confusion in terms of timing. And this feature is basically used by our customers for blended learning. In catalog, your employees can find, so the catalog can be basically used as a knowledge base. So you can create different categories, put courses or learning tracks or separate learning items inside this catalog, and your employees can use it for self-learning. If you have a supervisor role on the platform, you also have access to My Team section, which is basically a supervisor dashboard, which shows the progress of your employees in a more visualized way. So here you can track the progress of your teams, of the whole departments, or maybe of each employee individually. So as you can see, Julia Roberts is not doing well, so no courses completed. So we would need to send her a reminder. By the way, speaking of the reminders, the automated platform also sends notifications and reminders to all of your employees. For example, hey, new course was assigned to you, or maybe you have 2 days to complete this course, so that your employees will be informed. When it comes to the progress tracking, you would need to dive deep into statistics, right? So now let's switch back to admin portal to see the reports section here. If we go to report section in our LMS, we will see that there are different types of reports categorized. So you can run reports by learners to see individual progress, or report by department, by group progress, or you can just take a particular learning item, which is maybe a course or a quiz or particular learning track, and see the progress on this. So let's just find the learning track that we saw in user portal and see my progress. So as you can see, here is this learning track, and I'm the only user who is enrolled to this learning track. So this information is definitely not enough, so we would need to dive deeper and see the learning progress here. And here we are. We can see my progress, the percentage, how many courses I passed. 0 courses, so I'm not the better student than Julia Roberts. So let's just dive deeper to see more statistics and go to completion details. And here we see all our courses. So day number 1 course, and we can check each module to see my progress on each particular module here. And here we are. So I'm in progress and I failed this quiz. So I won't be able to provide first aid, unfortunately, but still I can complete it. So this is the way how you can track the progress of your employees. And if you don't want to manually run all these reports from time to time, you can also enable automatic scheduled reports. So the platform allows you to create report template and enable automatic report generation so that from time to time on a regular basis, you'll have reports ready-made and you can track all the progress without all this manual work. So these are the ways on how you can automate your onboarding and manage your content and the progress of your users and be aware that everything is going okay with your newcomers. Your new hires are happy, they are compliant, they know all the processes, and so on. So if you would like, for example, to make their immersion even better, you can customize the visual part of the platform and you can change the branding. If you go to settings, it is possible to change the branding of the LMS here. So you can change the color scheme, you can change the logo, favicon, the small icon in your browser, and also cover images for my courses section, my catalog, and some other parts in user portal. So this is our complete solution for e-learning. So the combination of iSpring Suite, the authoring tool based on PowerPoint, allows you to create beautiful professional courses without any specific IT skills, easily publish it to your LMS, and quickly deliver it via iSpring Learn. Enable automation and see how your company grows and how your new hires become more compliant and are ready to show their best. So I think this is all that I wanted to highlight regarding our solution. So
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you so much, Tom, as well. I've learned some new things for myself. And I'm sure our participants have gained a lot of new insights and ideas that they can apply to the onboarding process. So you can share them in the chat if you want to. And I saw a lot of questions coming. I saw some questions at the beginning, so I will ask them. Um, Now, just one by one, if you're if you don't mind. So, I see a question from Pani. So, how do you make the videos into a presentation? I have used Colossyan, but only in a static slide and avatar speaker. I think this is a question for Tom.
Yeah, so there are all kinds of tools in Colossyan where, for instance, this is one of the templates that you can utilize in the platform, but you can also utilize, just like you would in PowerPoint, the shapes and the ability to import images to build what look like slides. So, I mean, I don't want to kind of do another whole demo. That probably kills all our time. But if that doesn't make sense or you want to have a look, drop me a message on LinkedIn and let's just jump on a call and I'll kind of show you how we can do that. But you can add shapes, images, text boxes, all that sort of thing, just straight in the editor. So it's super easy.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I had a question for Sarwar. So, there's a question. Do we have the option of a leaderboard to gamify the learning?
yeah, definitely. So iSpring Learn has multiple features for gamification so that you can grant badges or points to your learners after they complete courses or learning tracks. And all employees can see the leaderboard and who is leading. They can see the user profiles with the badges, with certificates that they earned. And yeah, so this basically can be used for gamification to engage your employees and to add some competition elements in e-learning.
Yeah, thank you. So I see a question for Tom. Um, is using Colossyan a user-friendly application? And how large of files are created for just a few slides to insert into a PPT in order to convert to a score? Just like tricky question.
Yeah, so I mean, again, bias, obviously, but from the ground up, actually, we design with the idea that the interface should be as simple to use as possible. Like we talk a lot about how technology is really exciting, but actually, it should get out of the way and let you be creative and make great things. So that's very much how we think about what we design. In terms of the file size, it's incredibly variable depending on what you put on the slides, like anything else. However, it does do a really good job of kind of minimizing the size. So this was like a full 1080p with questions and all sorts going on, came out at about 50 megabytes. They also compress really well if you use Handbrake as a free open source compression tool. You can usually compress them by kind of 35, 40% before inputting them into something, or of course, just export it directly as SCORM from the platform to save yourself needing to embed it in something else unless you want to.
Yep, thank you. I think that clears things out. And just while we are here, I'm not sure if you are knowing the answer, but what level of Colossian subscription would be required to create your demoed presentation?
You could create everything there on one of the normal pro plans, with the exception of exporting to SCORM. For that, you would need I believe you'd need the enterprise plan. But the best thing to do for that would be to go onto the website and look at the breakdown on there, because that will tell you exactly what is included in each bracket. And then you can always, my advice would always be with that: if you're uncertain about it, take a free trial, build some stuff, see if you run out of functionality, and go from there.
Yeah, thank you. And there's a question for server, also about subscriptions. So if iSpring Learn is included in iSpring Max or Premium, or both included in the feature, and what does one author license in a bundle mean?
So yeah, just to clear up the subscription thing. So iSpring Suite and iSpring Learn are different separate products. And if you purchase iSpring Learn, the LMS, you will also get iSpring Suite Max license for free. So this is one author license. So this means that you can install one iSpring Suite license on one computer, and only one author can use it. So this is the confusion, maybe, because person who asked this question thought that maybe if you purchase iSpring Suite, you get iSpring Learn, but it is vice versa. So with iSpring Learn, you get iSpring Suite for free. So yeah, if you will have more authors that need to use iSpring Suite, you can always purchase like extra author seats to your iSpring Suite license and have multi-author license.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. And I saw a question from Chelsea. It's for Tom. When he showed this feature with names in in the video making process. So do we need to manually change the manager's name in the script, or is there a way for it to pull data from Excel?
So you would need to change it in the script. If there is technically kind of like you could go down the route of like API access and doing something clever, but it's not kind of built in. So you would just need to go in, swap it out, and then just click generate.
Yeah, okay, thanks. And the question for server. So can you set restriction for the course be visible only to a targeted group and not the whole organization?
Absolutely. So this is why the departments feature is so important. It allows you to add users in separate departments and control what content should be visible for each department. So you can create, let's say, onboarding training for finance department, and this training, these learning items will be visible only for this particular department. So this way you can enable like separate content spaces for each department.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think that it was our last question for today. I think we should wrap up our session because we are a bit run out of time. And I want to ask you to fill out the survey about the webinar. I will share a link in the chat. And if you still have some questions, you can leave them there. We will contact you right after the webinar. And I also want to share a handout from Tom that will help you get started with a new tool. So you'll see it in the handout section right now. Tom, if you want to share a few words about it, you can do it right
Yeah,
now.
sure. So this tool's basically all about helping you choose the right vendors. It's really obviously I want you all to buy our tool. I want you all to buy iSpring, but that doesn't make it universally the right choice. It's really important that we make the right partnerships in L&D. So we wrote this short guide to help you have the best possible conversations with potential vendors and partners. So take a look at it. If you've got any questions about it, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Is always the easiest way to get hold of me because every device in my house goes berserk whenever I get a message. So just reach out to me on there. I've dropped the link into the chat, and I'm always happy to chat about it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you. And I will share a link also to iSpring Learn. If you are interested, you can contact Server or any of our sales manager will be happy to provide you with some more information about our tool. And yeah, Tom, Sarah, thank you for sharing all this insight with us. And thank you everyone for being such an attentive audience. I appreciate all your comments and feedback that is coming up in the chat. So hope you have enjoyed. Take care and see you next time.
Thanks. Take care.
Cheerio.